Welcome to Minds of Money TV. My name is Carly Stevens, and today we are thrilled to have joining us Andrew Paterson of Great Boulder Resources. Welcome, Andrew.
Thank you. Nice to have you. Nice to be here.
Perfect. Tell us a little bit about Great Boulder for those watching and listening along. Obviously, the key highlights and introduction to your company.
Yeah, Great Boulder, we're a small gold exploration company, gold focused. We've been listed on the ASX for going on 7 years. And our flagship project is the Sidewell Gold Project, which is at Meekatharra in the Murchison region of Western Australia. So Meekatharra is quite a historic, well-known gold field. We're just on the edge of Meekatharra and joining the Paddy's Flat operation of West Gold Resources. So it's really a prime location for a junior exploration company to be in, and that's really our main asset and our main focus.
Amazing. So a jurisdiction I'm sure many people are familiar with. I think we've covered off on the key points there: commodity, projects, jurisdiction. That's great. So in terms of people and the Great Boulder culture, in terms of who you have on the management team there, obviously it's such an important factor when it comes to the success of a company. Can you introduce us to a few of those who are on that management team?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's primarily led by geologists. So I'm a geologist myself. I've been in the industry for nearly 30 years, and we're very lucky to have Greg Hall as our chairman. And Greg used to run the global exploration team for Placer Gold, Placer Dome, and was a key man in the exploration and discovery of Granny Smith and Wallaby and Coringal here in Western Australia, and has also worked all around the world. So Greg's a great guy to have as chairman. Supported on the board by Melanie Layton, who's also a geologist, and Karen O'Neill, who comes from a finance and commercial background. So she kind of rounds out or balances out our geology focus by giving us more of a commercial strength. Supported by Daniel Doran, our exploration manager, and then some key consultants like Scott Halley, who's, I think, the best geochemist in Australia and one of the leading geochemists in the world. And having support of people like that outside of the company has been one of the keys to our success.
Amazing. It sounds like you have a broad range of expertise there and a really strong management team behind Great Boulder. Fantastic. So the last 12 months, let's have a little bit of a reflect. And this is a two-part question, I guess. How have the last 12 months been for you? And what's the outlook for the next 12 months? What are some key kind of takeaways for investors, and what can they expect to see from you in the next 12 months?
Yeah, well, it's kind of a loaded question. So, in Australia, and globally to some degree, the last 12 months has been pretty tough. So, the stock market has been quite subdued particularly for gold companies since about the middle of last year or just before then. On the other hand, our project's been going really, really well, and we're kicking heaps of goals. So kind of in this unusual situation where we're putting out actually some of the highest grade mineral intersections in the world on one particular occasion, and yet we're not getting that much recognition just because with all the other things that are going on in the economy, people are still somewhat nervous. However, what that means is we've now got this really good project. We've got a 500,000 ounce resource. We have a plan in place to deliver 1 million ounces by the end of next year. And during that time, I'm confident that the stage is quite well set for gold to start to rebound. I think, possibly before Christmas, it feels like we're on the cusp of gold kind of coming out of the blocks and breaking clear of its current, I guess, somewhat dormant phase. Having said that, though, gold in Australian dollars is at almost record highs. So there is kind of conflicting forces here between a high Australian dollar gold price and the dampening effects of the broader economy.
Really encouraging to hear that it's a term that's overused, but in a volatile market or unsettled conditions, that you're still maintaining that strong position and have those really promising projects and with an outlook to be delivering some great results by, like you said, year's end and certainly within the next 12 months ahead.
Yeah.
So investors and shareholders then, for you guys, can you tell me a little bit about your key stakeholders or the profile of them or, yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So firstly, we have just under 3,000 shareholders, so it's not a huge investor base, and almost all of those are retail investors. So the top 20 and top 40 holders hold a large chunk of the company, and then we have quite a long tail of small retail, what we would call mums and dads investors, and that's good. And we've got one Australian institution here, which is the Lion Selection Group, have come in, have a relatively small stake, but we've known the Widdups for a long time, and they're a very supportive holder. We have one substantial holder, which is a family group out of Victoria, and then our joint venture partner at Sidewell, Zabina Minerals, is just under substantial. So they're our main holders. And I should note that the Sidewell is a 75% joint venture with 25% held by Zabina Minerals. We've dealt with those guys with Scott Wilson, the owner of Zabina, for a long time. And he's also very supportive and very happy with the way the project is progressing, which is understandable because we've gone from 0 to 500,000 ounces in 2 years and look like delivering 1 million, and we're well on track for that. So understandably, Scott's pretty happy.
Fantastic. And you must be doing something very right to have the Lion Selection Group on board. They're huge supporters of our event series, and really amazing. It sounds like you have a loyal and solid base there of investors. So all of those holders have been in the stock for about 4 years now. So been very, very supportive. Yeah, longevity and loyalty is key. Turning now to another topic, which is always hot on the agenda for everyone, ESG.
Yeah.
So in terms of the Great Boulder focus on ESG, things that you have always done, things that you've implemented, is there anything that you'd really like to communicate to investors in terms of Great Boulder's ESG fundamentals, I guess?
Yeah, there is, I guess, a couple of things. So one key thing that sets us apart as a junior company is that we have a 50-50 gender diversity across the board. So of our directors, as I mentioned before, two of the 4 directors are female, and 50% of our workforce, it's only a small team of about 12 full-time employees, but half of them are women as well. And actually that's not a kind of a thing that we set out to achieve, but we did want to achieve diversity both in the boardroom and in the team, such that you can fall into the trap of having 4 geologists in the same room and all get excited about one project and disappear off down a rabbit hole. And if it's not the right rabbit hole, then you're in trouble. So so we've kind of set out to have diversity of opinion, if you like, to make sure that we make the best and the strongest decisions all the time. When I go into the boardroom to make a decision, I don't expect to be the smartest person in the room, but we will always debate those big decisions, investments, acquisitions, things like that. The other thing, in terms of ESG, we are a relatively small company. We're not spending millions of dollars on community programs or anything like that, but we do try and do small programs that make a difference. And one thing that we've participated in for about 4 years was actually from one of our legacy projects, was in the Laverton area, and we were working with the primary school there, the school through high school as well, on an arts program, and with a cycling project where the Cycling Development Foundation run a fundraising ride from Perth to Laverton every year. And we started a competition to design, for the school kids to design the jersey that the riders would wear each year. And that's actually kind of discovered this young girl, Janae, who is a fantastic graphic designer, an Aboriginal girl. and this year we brought her to Perth to introduce her to a cycling apparel design company.
Wow.
And took her to a tertiary institution to show her the arts department and kind of explain to her the potential of her skill and where she could go in life. So that's been quite rewarding. And we're pretty proud of that. I mean, that's actually a really small program, but it's generated huge amounts of community goodwill towards the company in the Laverton area. We're now trying to replicate that kind of initiative at Meekatharra. This year, we're delivering our first formal ESG report in the annual report. So by the time I get to Melbourne, that will be public.
Great.
And we'll continue that in the years ahead. So it's been a good process. I think ESG is something that's always front of mind for the company, but it's not something that it's not kind of a box ticking exercise. It's just part of our philosophy, really.
Yeah, really important. And I think the concept of ESG, being a value add to everyone involved at Great Boulder, and that engagement with the community and just the rewards and the benefits far outweigh ticking a box. Like you said, the engagement and involvement of the entire team in those particular activities that you're getting involved in, they reap endless rewards and endless payoffs in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, and it really does, because in Meekatharra, we're obviously working on land which is a pastoral lease, but on top of that, there's also the native title group there, and we need to work with them and the pastoralists and the local community generally. And so if you go in with a combative approach and try and bludgeon through, with legislative approvals, you're not really going to make things any easier for yourself. You need to bring people along for the journey, and that's what we're trying to do to kind of incentivize, for example, our traditional owner group to come with us on this exploration journey, because once we start a mine, then they will benefit from that through employment and royalty streams. So, we're really trying to bring everybody in the community along with us in Meekatharra, so they can help us and we can help them.
Fantastic. It's amazing to hear that holistic approach, Andrew. Thank you for sharing. I think we've covered quite a bit in this short little chat that we've had, but I'll give you a question to finish off with, I guess, and it's always one that I enjoy hearing the answer to. But what sets Great Boulder apart from others playing in the space of gold exploration, I guess? What can be a compelling reason for people to throw their investing cash at you, Andrew?
Yeah, well, again, it's kind of there's two sides to the answer. So, firstly, I think we're a really good exploration company. We're very capable explorers. But having said that, there are some really excellent exploration companies in the junior space, particularly here in Perth. And I think the exploration industry in Australia is in absolutely fantastic health from the number of small companies who are out there kicking goals. So that doesn't actually set us apart. What does set us apart is that we have an advanced project right on the edge of a historic goldfield in actually terrain that hasn't really been properly explored before. And you'll hear people say that, but in this case, it's demonstrably true. And so we do have a 500,000 ounce resource. I think by the time I get to London, it will have gone up a bit. We're bringing out a resource update at the end of October. We're within 25 kilometres of an operating mill with our kind of big brother company, Westgold, who have no corporate relationship with us, but we do have a good kind of neighbourly relationship. So, when gold starts to run and the investor sentiment will start firstly towards producers and then start to filter down into the exploration space, people will be looking for advanced exploration companies. And I think Great Boulder is one of the best. And so, we're really proud of the progress we've made and the team that we've got. And we'll be kicking heaps of goals heading into next year.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Well, like you mentioned, you are heading off to Mines and Money at Resourcing tomorrow. at the end of November this year. So we're excited to have you there, and we can't wait to hear the update on the ounces, and also any other project developments that you have to announce at that time in November. So thank you so much for your time today, Andrew. The ASX ticker, would you like to broadcast that for anyone who's compelled to invest?
Yep. So GBR on the little sign behind me.
Perfect.
On the ASX. So yeah, have a look and jump in. We're cheap.
Perfect. Thank you again so much, Andrew. It was great to hear the updates and the outlook for the next 12 months. And we wish you every success. I don't think that you need that good luck, but wish you every success and look forward to seeing you in London.
Thanks very much, Carly. I appreciate your time.
Resourcing Tomorrow, accelerating the energy transition. 100 plus countries represented. And together with government representatives, mining and energy professionals, ESG experts, financial and professional services, industry associations, investors, and consultants, Resourcing Tomorrow will address critical mineral supply, the energy transition, environmental resilience, the circular economy, ESG, our future workforce, AI automation and machine learning, digitalization, mineral processing and plant optimization, exploration and development projects. Have your say in the future of our industry. Join us for Resourcing Tomorrow from 28 to 30 November 2023. Register today